Yes, my name's MC Zuma Dogg. You might recognize me from TV 35 because over the past 3 years I've attended a majority of the city council meetings because over 3 years ago I was a vendor at Venice and they passed an illegal, unconstitutional law. So we came down to the city council chambers to complain to council. I thought it'd be a one-time trip, like, oh, excuse me, this law's totally illegal, everybody, and you made a big mistake and just go correct it because you're gonna get sued. Well, shortly thereafter, I found out they were fully aware it was illegal. They simply didn't care. So it was through that process over 3 years, then I started to see what was going on in the city. On the agenda today was item 29. They call it rules of decorum, code of conduct. When I started coming in here along with some of my other friends, well, they weren't used to that type of level of exposure and scrutiny and getting this level of media attention. I'm Zuma Dogg, I'm kind of flamboyant, and I make a big splash, I'm very theatrical. It caught a lot of people's attention. All of a sudden, people were tuning into these council meetings, and then all of a sudden there was Zuma Dogg who was being seen by people through the community, so they'd start calling me on the phone like, Zuma Dogg, they're doing this wrong, they're doing that wrong, they're doing this illegal, they're doing that. And so I would spit it back during the public comment. And they never planned on somebody coming day in and day out every day. I went over a year without missing a meeting.
So I'm here to tell you people, there's some very scary things happening in the city. Now, what can happen is if Eric Garcia, or whoever the council president is, if they go, up, Zuma Dogg, you're a little too loud, you're banned for 30 meetings. Not 30 days, 30 meetings. Now here's the thing, sometimes my voice might get high, I might start talking out under passion, but I do not think it's ever been anything in violation of the law that could require a 30-meeting ban.
They just didn't plan on that, and they just didn't plan on everybody, saying, hey, Zuma Dogg, we're watching you on TV. It spread, so now it's a whole nother level of attention they've never had. They're desperate as hell to get us out of here.
And when I see some of the public comments, they create such sadness in me that they are in such a condition that they would waste their time in city council to make superfluous arguments about things that we don't care about.
Something else is when the city was doing illegal condo conversions. If you're a renter in a lot of these apartments where you're a renter, what they'll do is they will kick the renter out so they can flip it into a $1 million condo that nobody can afford. So there's something called vacancy rate. And if there's less than 5% vacancy rate in the area, you cannot do that condo conversion. The city was doing them all across the city in violation of vacancy rate. And then I started to talk about it on TV, and then the city attorney had to issue a report, hey, how come I'm hearing that we're not enforcing vacancy rates and that you're doing this illegal condo conversion? And it got shut down. That's something huge. So a couple of years ago, they passed a code of conduct, rules of decorum. They just cracked down on a lot of stuff where they give you warnings. They would give you a warning. Okay, we give you a warning, a second warning, then we can kick you out for the day. For things like if you're too loud. Now the thing is, they arbitrarily enforce whether it's too loud or not. And now he can ban me for 30 meetings without warning, just because he thinks my voice is too loud.
If I could just add, I didn't add that the new provision has a penalty provision of 30 meeting days and not just 30 days.
So I'm here to tell you it's a very slippery slope, and I don't like this type of crackdown. It's going way too far. You can't just say, oh, you're too loud. Let's have a decibel meter in there, and you better do equal enforcement. It's like, oh, gee, you're profane and slanderous. No. Saying the word losers in general is not profane and it is not slanderous because that is not directed toward an individual.